So I'm working on a 2014 Mercedes. This one's a C250. And like a lot of them, you see this pipe has been replaced. And on mine, the pipe disintegrated. And you can buy an aftermarket piece to substitute in for that. But I didn't want to wait a few days for that to come in. And of course, Mercedes wants you to replace this entire assembly, several $100s. But what I ended up doing, I just went to the car parts store and I bought this Gates hose. It's a 71221, and it seemed to have about the right kind of bends for what I needed. I ended up using this piece of the hose. I trimmed this down some. You can see, just experimented around, just trimmed a little and checked it. And then down in here, I did the same thing. I trimmed it. It's got a natural bend that goes right into the pipe down there. So it worked out pretty good for me. And I just trimmed, I started long and I just shortened it until it fit like I liked it. And again, this one's the Gates 71221. And you just need to get a couple of hose clamps. And on mine, I took this pipe out because it had allowed a lot of unmetered air and dirt and trash to get into the pipe, and I wanted to clean that out before I attached it back onto the motor. So I ended up having to remove this, and it is a little difficult to get that back in. It's kind of an awkward angle to try to make that turbo hose snap on to the pipe there. The hardest part about it is when you go to install this pipe back onto the turbo, there's a ridge that you have to snap onto the turbo, and it takes a considerable amount of force in an awkward angle to reach down in there and push onto the turbo. I ended up putting a little grease around it. That didn't seem to help a whole lot, but it finally did go, and when it did, I kept working and working it, and then finally popped on. And when it pops on, you do know it. And you can see down in there the hose actually does. You can see where it's butted right up to the edge of the turbo, like it should be. But that was the most difficult part, getting that hose to snap back into place.